everybody, welcome back or welcome to my channel. This is Axi and I'll be taking you to a journey through our minds. Yes, our minds and society. Today is November 19th and it is marked as Men's Day. So the whole of November actually is a month where we focus on men and we talk about their problems, their mental health problems, their physical health problems, and there's social problems that they go through. So mental health is a big issue among men, which is not discussed a lot. Being the feminist that I am, yes, even as a feminist, I would like to congratulate all the strong men out there, all the courageous men who have been fighting all the stereotypes, all the problems they're facing, and have been, going through their battle and being really cool through it. So yeah, see, we don't hate men. We do try our best that we live in a society where both men and women are equally treated and build a better society together. The thing with men's mental health is that society has dismissed it for too long, and we're not going to go deep inside the issue of why it has been dismissed, because we'll have to go through history and all the controversial topics. But the main idea of it is that our society is stereotypical, and we have just made these ideas which do not go, and they have been persistent for every single aspect of life, whether it's being a specific gender or being a specific age or doing a specific thing. People in our society want to believe that a man is supposed to be a strong knight fighting dragons and saving princesses, whereas while this stereotype has been persistent, it was a disadvantage to men, and they have become the person who needs to be rescued at this point. Don't take me wrong. To be rescued and to be needing help is not something bad. The reason why men have been suffering is because of this idea that getting help is a weakness and it's something bad, whereas it's actually a good initiative to become a better human. Counting the number of suicides, it is noted that 2/3 of the suicides globally are committed by men, and that's a huge number, and it's not easy to just state the number. It's a huge number. It's around 70% almost suicides are committed by men, and 60 to 70% suicides, if they're committed by men, there should be a problem, and there must be a solution for it. A study showed that 40% of the men suffering from mental disorder or any sort of psychological discomfort will not talk about it. This goes back to the argument that men are stereotyped. Men are, by society, they're looked as people who protect the other gender, and they don't need protection themselves. And this has had a bad effect on men. They're called weak, and they're expected to be stronger than women. I've come across so many posts and so many men themselves talking about how men are supposed to be strong. Men, you have to be courageous. You have to be out there. Stop being such a chicken. All of those things. Those things even instigate this idea. And I'm not saying it's because of men only stereotype men, but it's even women who stereotype. It's most of the society together. They just stereotype men into believing that they cannot talk about it. So most men get scared that if we talk about it, we'll be called attention seekers, and it's just a woman thing. So yeah, again, another stereotype that women are the ones who complain about things. So it's not supposed to be like that. A human's basic needs are something that male and female, both of them have, similar. You cannot change that. They need physical security. They need psychological well-being. That thing is something you cannot separate from, with gender. If you study in psychology the theories of needs of a human, You can go through any, most of them. Like, let's take the most basic one, the first one, which is Maslow's theories, and there is psychological well-being in it, and it is part of the essentials, and you need it. You cannot go without it. So every human does need this kind of, satisfaction, psychological satisfaction. A lot of people discuss toxic masculinity. I myself talk about it a lot, and I always tell, it's a problem in society. But what we don't go into, deep into, is the idea that why does toxic masculinity exist? It actually exists when you suppress your emotions, you get temper issues, you have other kind of issues, you have traumas that are deep inside of you, and when you don't open up, this is what you get. You get toxicity, you get manipulative behavior, and all of those other kind of behaviors that we're trying to eliminate. But for that, we need to go to the beginning, very start, where all of these things happen, where all of these things start. Apart from the stereotyping of men into the category of weak or strong, there is one thing that nobody really understands, is that status, prestige, and image is a huge thing for men. Yes, it is something for women too, but it is a bit different from men. The thing in Asian societies and most societies I've seen is that men are supposed to be rich, they're supposed to be of a specific status, and they must have a specific job, they must have a specific salary, and those things are really, just further into stereotyping somebody into some role. Yes, it's all part of society's structure on how a woman should be at home and a man should be at work. That's a deep conversation. But the thing is that once you put somebody in a specific role, that just gets worse. If you just treat a man like somebody who's gonna work, it's just going to be as if he's an ATM machine who has to work. And this is something everybody should understand. There should be a balance in both sides. That's how society works. So now when men are put into as ATM machines, of course they have to achieve that specific status. If they don't have a good job, they don't have a good salary, of course they won't get, so many of them can't get the woman of their dreams, they can't achieve, that status among friends, they'll always be degraded, they'll always feel like they're behind, and these things actually have a very bad effect on men. We don't notice them, and we just feel like, okay, that's a man's job, right? So it's just a deep conversation on how, gender norms and roles just affect each genders very badly. And men are victims too, as much as we don't see it, and even men themselves don't see it, but yes, it does affect them very badly. I'm not saying you should ask men to stop working and change the whole gender role or something, but yeah, putting burden on one person to do something specifically does have bad effects. Now you see, this is when, what happens when you go towards the traditional ideas that most people are trying to go against, like just putting one burden on one person and the other person gets the other burden. It's like you're supposed to be a team, and the society is supposed to work with each other's cooperation, and a cooperation isn't something that you dump one work and the other work on the other person. It's supposed to be a 50-50 on both things. Of course, there are many other things that can be discussed on why men face these things and why they have psychological discomfort. There's also stereotyping from childhood on what things you should like, what things you shouldn't like, even in youth, even as you grow older. You're not supposed to like the color pink, you're not supposed to play with dolls, you're not supposed to cook, you're a simp, you're this, you're that. So those things have also a big effect on men. It's always just goes back to stereotyping, to be honest. No matter what you discuss, it goes back to stereotyping. And I just wish that everybody chills. Literally. I wish we didn't pressurize people into those traditional norms that we had, because our world changed. And today, like it's most like, you know, the end of the movie Zootopia. They say like everybody can be whatever they like. So like, yeah, this world has become somewhat that you can become whatever you like. And if that's the case, I don't think we should judge other people, and we should let them be who they want to be. And we should work on fixing things rather than judging other people. And communication is always the key. I always say that. And to all the men who are suffering out there, please communicate, tell somebody. And I believe there would be somebody to talk to. And if there, and you know, the people who judge others for, you know, judge men or women, whatever, but over here we're talking about men. So if they're judging men for talking about their mental health, you seriously have issues. You should stop that. Stop being a bully. And of course, bullies have issues. That would be really mean of me, but I'm saying it. The people who bully others for doing something for their comfort they really are the worst people on earth. That's really the meanest thing you could do to somebody. All the men who are trying hard to be strong and just fall into the category of what a real man looks like, there's no simple definition of it, you know. And you shouldn't try to so hard. You just be true to yourself. And you know, if you're facing an issue, don't think that people would think you're weak. And this idea of men should be super cool in front of girls and they should, like, you know, be the strong guy, I don't think that's true. That's something made by the society. We do not think that. In fact, you know, girls would like guys who are sensitive, who are sweet. This whole idea of being a toxic Wattpad guy is not the thing. Don't be that. You don't have to try to be that. Be yourself. Be cool. The best thing you could do to yourself is being yourself. Take care of yourself, and your issues are valid. You have equal right in the society to have all the, you know, basic human rights that every other person has. So yeah. And to the people who judge others and, you know, say mean stuff, please stop it. It does not help. It creates more issues for yourself and for other people. Don't do that. Thank you for watching this video. And like I always say, so today is about men. So if you ever need somebody to talk to, I always give my social media links down in the description box. You can always DM me on my Instagram and I'll be ready to talk to you. And I'll be of help. And any other person, of course, if you're not even a man, you can still message me. You can be anything and you can still message me. And I'll love to talk to you and we'll figure it out together. And of course, my webtoon would have come out for the Men's Day, and especially, of course, about men's mental health. And you can check it out. There's some deep things. I hope you get it. It's often very short and like talks about the elements, and it revolves around the idea of that specific topic of that one comic of that one specific day. So see you in the next video. Bye bye.